Hey, Cubs fans, and welcome to another edition of Cubs on Tap. I am your host, Nick, joined by my co host, Rich. We are here to break down an exciting walk-off win. But before we do that, how you doing, Rich?
Uh, Overstimulated. I was really happy the Cubs were able to cap off such a crazy, like a frustrating game. A lot of the game was pretty rough. The Cubs didn't do a lot offensively, but they came through at the end. Great moment for rookie Matt Shaw. Got the walk-off win over the Rockies, avoided having to take a loss from the worst team in Major League Baseball. So I'm feeling good, man. The Cubs just keep on rolling. Fifth straight series win. I mean, this team just has some magic in it. You could feel it. I could feel it.
Heck
I could
yeah.
feel it coursing through my veins.
Heck
It's
yeah.
it's feeling awesome, man.
Yep, it really is. Yep, magic. That's a great way to put it. And it's just awesome that Shaw did get that. It just calculates his just awesome comeback from the minors and just showing what he is. So yeah, it's all very great. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Hey everyone, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you as well, man. But Rich, let's start off there. Let's start off with Matt Shaw and just what he's been and what he's brought to this team. And with a team like the Rockies, you'd think you'd blow them out, but in this one, you go to the 11th, you're down one, and then he comes up with the game tied and gets that awesome hit for you. What has he been?
And he's just been able to lengthen this already awesome lineup. They're already like the highest octane offense. They're at least before the games today, they're leading MLB in runs scored. And him having him there at the bottom, another, speedy contact hitter with a little bit of pop in his bat. He already takes good at bats, and he did that before he got sent down to AAA. Um, he was taking a lot of walks. Now he's doing that and getting hits, getting on base consistently, coming through in clutch moments. And I think he had 2 stolen bases today as well.
Yep.
In addition to that blue walk-off single, opposite way too. That was exactly. I was listening to the radio broadcast. That's exactly what Ron Coomer called for. It's like I want Shaw to shoot this one the other way. That should seal the deal. He did it on like the next pitch. I was like, man, that's
Yep.
he's going the opposite way a lot. That's kind of nice to see from him. He's been doing that in the last week since he came back up. But yeah, man, he's giving them fantastic at bats, getting on base, hitting, and he's also playing awesome defense, man. Uh, which was the main question mark going into the year. Is like, man, Shaw came up as a shortstop. He was playing a lot of second base too. Does he have the arm to play third base consistently? These last few games over the Memorial Day weekend and today, he's made 3 incredible plays over at the hot corner where basically I'm sold. Like
Yep.
he was already making routine plays, and now I'm like, yeah, no, he can make more than just the routine plays. Like he's got that dog in him. He can play the hot corner, and with the Cubs needed that desperately because there's really no other options at third base besides
Yep.
John Birdie, besides replacement level bench guys. So
Yep.
yeah, no, Shaw is a very welcome addition, and he's breaking out and he's having fun. He looked really comfortable today too. So hopefully he's kind of past that rookie hump and is just like, I'm a contributor. I'm here to stay. Like I'm just a part of the team, and I hope that keeps on going for him.
Yeah, man. You said it best. I mean, I think he really fills a hole that we had for sure. A big
Yeah.
hole, a big question mark that we had, and it's just great to see him having fun. Like you said, you can tell he's enjoying baseball. When he first, the beginning of the year, you could see his struggles in his face, and even in his on the field when he was being on defense. So it's just great to see. And he does bring a lot more, as you said, he brings a lot more depth to this lineup. He just adds another thing. And with Birdie on second like that, I knew as soon as that ball dropped in right field that Birdie was scoring. And that's the speed kills with this team. So it was
Yeah.
awesome to see. And he takes the ball the other way when he is hitting well. And that's what good hitters do. They take what the pitcher gives them, and you get a good result out of that. But yeah, it was a quiet night from the offense overall. You know, with a team like I said, with a team like the Rockies, you'd want to see them just beat the hell out of them offensively. And we know this Cubs team has that potential of just putting up 10 runs or so in a game. So it was interesting to see that they only scored 4 there, and that it was pretty quiet. Overall, did you think the Cubs offense battled through some things and played that small ball, that brand of ball that they can resort to when the long ball's not there for them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so yeah, with the wind blowing in today and yesterday, they kind of had to scratch out some runs. And to your point, speed did get it done for them. They scored their first runs on, Matt Shaw again, singled in the third inning, stole second base, uh, moved over on a single from Ian Happ, and then scored on a single from Seiya Suzuki. So he got himself in scoring position by stealing a base, and speed won them the game. Thankfully, for like, I don't know, 6 or 7 innings, the Cubs were just swinging at hot trash sliders in the dirt for like, we were talking about it a little bit before we started the show. There was some horrendous at bats from the Cubs tonight. It
Yep.
wasn't good. Specifically Pete Crow Armstrong, but thankfully he started that 11th inning on second base, which
Yep.
was a huge deal because then he ended up stealing third, and the Rockies didn't even bother trying to stop him because they were afraid the ball, like they were going to miss it and the ball was going to jet into the outfield and he was just going to score the tying run. Luckily, Michael Busch, even the way that they scored this run was kind of ridiculous. Michael Busch took like a quarter swing.
Yep.
It literally looked like a chip shot with like a 60-degree wedge, and he shot it the other way. And PCA came to score on that single, tied the game. And then, like you said, John Birdie pinch ran for Michael Busch, ended up stealing second, putting himself in the scoring position for that, walk-off run. So speed, yeah, it's been a nice tool for them to go into on these days, because there is going to be a lot of these days, and hopefully not too much longer since
Yep.
into the summer months. But in April and May, there's days where Wrigley Field is playing like hell. Like it's
Yep.
not hitter's park, wind
Yep.
falling in the long ball, which has helped them a lot this year. They've been a good home run hitting team, but you just simply can't hit home runs on days like that. Carson Kelly hit a ball, I think it was in the 10th or 9th or 10th inning today, and I was like, that's for sure going out here, and the wind just killed it, man.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I know exactly the
Hit
one
it
you're
on the
talking about.
buttons, man.
Yeah. I jumped up. I'm like, it's gone. And nope. Nope.
Man, just
Yeah.
one of the many disappointments from tonight, but it was all worth it. It was all worth it.
Yep. Oh, exactly. They got it done. And that's a great point with this offense. I mean, when the long ball is not there, when they can't pound it out of the park, they have another way of beating you. And that's just a great thing to see. And I love the aggressiveness on the base paths, even late in the game like that from PCA, and did not get that throw. Shame on the Rockies, honestly, but it just goes to show you what kind of a team that they are. But there was another guy that took full advantage of the wind blowing in, and it was big righty Horton. Cade Horton, man. He goes 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, allows 2 earned runs, only walks 1, and strikes out 6. But he goes deep into the game. And this is something that me, Ron, and I believe you were talking about before. We were looking to see more length out of Horton. And tonight he gives you that length. And thankfully he does, with going into extras and having to burn several arms. Because if you only got 4 out of him, there's a chance you're using 2 other pitchers here, and putting yourself farther back for tomorrow's game. But I loved what I saw out of Horton. He was aggressive in the strike zone. He did not, as you saw, he did not walk much, just 1 walk. He didn't go deep into counts on guys, and I think that's what really helped him stay and get that length within the game. And it looked like all his pitches were working for him tonight. He just looks great. And I think it's no question that when Shota comes back, he cannot go anywhere out of that rotation. Obviously, Ben Brown, his last outing was pretty bad. But Horton just doing what he's been doing proves that he should stay in this rotation. But what did you see out of Horton tonight that you liked?
Yeah, definitely the length. I mean, that's the key for him right now. He needs to prove and get in deep into ball games, right? And this was a perfect opportunity for him to do it at home against literally the worst team in baseball. And yeah, to your point, like from the get-go, I think he started off the game with a 3-pitch strikeout, which was nice. He was attacking, he was aggressive. Gave up 1 home run, which was annoying. I forgot who hit it. They have so many. Was
I think
it
Doyle?
It was Doyle. They have so
It was
many weird
Doyle.
players on their team where I'm like, these are like AA names.
Yep.
But yeah, Doyle hit one out of the park. But 6 innings, to your point, was huge because if he was only able to go like 3 or 4, you would probably had to use Chris Flexen earlier in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's your de facto long reliever, and they needed him at the end when they went into extra innings, especially because I think Palencia was not available today since he went back-to-back games, or at least Craig Counsell was probably hesitant to use him.
Yeah.
Still ended up using 5 bullpen guys. Whatever. You needed to get the win. Like I love, even in a game against the Rockies, Craig Counsell is like pulling out all the stops. Like, yeah, well, this is a close game, and I need to bring in who I can to hold this lead.
Yep.
So he used everybody at his disposal. We were like this close away from seeing Drew Pomeranz tonight if a save situation came about, but luckily he'll be saved for tomorrow, and so will Daniel Palencia, and it's thanks in part to Cade Horton. So the Cubs have a chance to sweep a series against the Rockies tomorrow. They should have their closers, Pomeranz and Palencia, available. And we just need a good outing from Matthew Boyd because everybody else is probably gassed in that bullpen.
Yep. No, definitely. What did you think with using Presley a little later in kind of a higher leverage situation? He's been a lot better, but I thought it was a curious decision. I know there wasn't many other options, but to go to him in that spot, I think it was more of Craig saying, here's a little bit of rope. Don't hang yourself. Show me what you got here. And, prove to me that you can be back in this circle of trust, if you will. And I liked what I've been seeing out of him. So it was cool to see. He did walk a guy, but overall, what did you think of going to Presley in that spot?
Yeah, I think if Palencia was available, you probably would have went with Drew Pomeranz there in the 9th inning. So I think it was sort of a necessity thing. It was who he had available to him. That being said, Presley did do well. Like he's very much a stranger to clean innings right now. It seems like he's always putting like guys on base, but he got through the inning. If Palencia was available, you probably would have saw Pomeranz there. But I don't know. I'm not too worried about it because as the season goes on, I feel like we're probably not going to see Presley in as many high leverage spots like in the late summer. You know what I mean? Especially if they go out and get somebody at the deadline. They actually just signed a pitcher today, which we could talk about. Genesis Cabrera signed a major league contract with the Cubs today, actually. I thought it was going to be a minor league deal, but Jed Hoyer said we are going to sign him to a major league deal. He was playing with the Mets this year. Got designated for assignment on Saturday. I think he signed a minor league deal with them before the season started, and had like a 3.5 ERA with them in 7 innings, and got designated for assignment. They didn't have room for him in their bullpen. He cleared waivers, elected free agency, and a few hours later, he signed with the Cubs. So that is an intriguing arm because
it is.
Last year, he had like 60 appearances out of Toronto's bullpen with a 3.59 ERA, 69 appearances with a 3.59 ERA, and 50 strikeouts. So that could be a potentially a high leverage guy. He had 13 holds last year as well.
Yep.
That's very intriguing. What do you think about that signing?
I like that signing. I think you definitely needed another arm in the bullpen. Obviously, it's not absolute. Hopefully, you do more at the deadline, but I like an early signing like this to go ahead and shore up the bullpen, especially with, the Cubs doing so well. Keep going, keep on this pace. And obviously, you're going to have times like tonight where you are short, arms, and you have to use a lot of guys. And this just adds to the mix of who Craig can go to. I think that he's a guy that, like you said, can potentially work his way up to higher leverage situations. The leash might be short at first, but it just depends. He is a guy that has a very live arm, and I think that's definitely something that the Cubs would need in the bullpen. Someone that throws some heat. They can miss bats, miss barrels. That's very important. And he's just got that makeup of a guy that the Cubs can kind of work with and get the most out of. Our pitching lab, our pitching coaches, they've just had a great track record of taking guys that are just right on the borderline and making them great. And I think this could be one of those guys that they can look at and they can go, what can we tinker with here while keeping everything, that has made him, but what can we do to make him even better? And I think that that's what they're going to get out of this guy. And I think it's very important at this point in the season because a lot of those higher, caliber guys, teams aren't going to want to trade right now because they're going to wait for the price to go up. So this is just one of those guys that you can get. Maybe it's a sneaky signing. So I'm excited to see how that goes. And honestly, any arm in that pen is kind of a welcome sight for me. I don't know about you. As long as they're half decent, just get in there and contribute, get innings. Because this starting pitching, like we've talked about how good Boyd and Ray has been, but it can't continue on this pace forever. We've talked about it before that there's going to be burnout, and it's better if we have guys that can take that load off of the starting pitchers a little bit more early so that later in the season they can really, shine.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Cabrera brings a lot of experience too. He's got a lot of high leverage innings under his belt, 283 career big league innings, a lot of games finished, 38 games finished. So he's pitched in high leverage before. He's got good velo, like you were saying. His fastball has averaged like 96 miles an hour last few seasons. And to your point too, with the pitch lab, he has a pretty big arsenal of pitches. Got a sinker, curveball, cutter, four-seamer, and splitter. So that's a lot for Tyler Zombro and Tommy Hotovy to work with. This probably would have been a guy who was on their radar before, like guys like Tyler Zombro were in the Cubs organization, but I can just see them like turning this guy, like you said, into like an uber reliever, like turning his career around like they did with Drew Pomeranz. Honestly, like half their bullpen is guys that they did that with. Like Drew Pomeranz, exactly. Brad Keller was like dead in MLB before this year. Ryan Brazier has honestly looked good too since coming back. Yeah. So I think with this move, since it's a major league signing, you probably just send Brooks Kriske back down to AAA if you can. I don't know if he has minor league options available, but
I think he's got a couple more options.
And then I think you sign this or you do this deal because, and I hope I'm wrong here, but you might be expecting Porter Hodge to be out longer than you want. The latest update was that he was not progressing well, I think was what I saw. The quote from was the Craig Counsell. Yep. I was like, ugh, that's not what you want to hear, but I don't know. At least Daniel Palencia has looked good in the ninth inning. He has the I don't know, the grit is if the right word. He has that, he has the balls for the ninth inning, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's good. And like we were saying, like Pomeranz has been good in high leverage and stuff, and Brad Keller as well in the eighth inning in like a setup role. So they're just gonna have to roll with this and see what you can get out of Cabrera. I like that signing though. That could be a nice addition to this bullpen.
I do too. 100%. Kind of off track, but an interesting thought here. How much does Daniel Palencia remind you of Adbert Azalea?
Like right after the game, it's uncanny. Like they look
right.
they have the same energy, just like I just climbs Mount Everest type of thing, they get fired up.
They
what you want to see out of your closer, right? Like that's exactly the kind of energy you need to have that to get through those ninth innings. The adrenaline is pumping through your veins. Like I love seeing that.
Yeah,
you saw Tyone do that a little bit too. I think that was yesterday.
Yep.
When he got out of that like jam. I love seeing guys get all fired up like that. That's nice.
Me too. Yeah, you love to see the passion, and those last 3 outs are the hardest ones to get. So, whatever it takes there, and that adrenaline buildup is not easy to do and not easy to handle. But Palencia's looked good, and he's got that high velocity that if he could just throw strikes, I think he can man the ship for a while Haj is down. And it is sad to hear that he's not progressing well. Those injuries are ones that can linger and can be very tricky. So it's a little bit concerning, especially after this signing. Yeah, these damn obliques, I was talking to my dad this week, and I'm like, who does this fall on? Like, does this fall on the training staff? This is a lot of oblique injuries. Like, where do we point the finger? And he's like, I think it's just a bunch of flukes, man. And I agree with him. I think it is.
It's like, how do you prevent that?
Yeah.
It's such a finicky one where it's just like anybody can hurt it. And I think it feels like one of those things where like everybody recovers differently from it too. It's just like you have to feel it out type of thing, which is annoying because our ace, our closer, now our starting catcher too is out with oblique injuries, and they announced today Amaya is going to be on the injured list for 4 to 6 weeks, which is fine because we have Reese McGuire now, who threw out 2 runners today and hit 2 home runs on Sunday against the Reds in his first game back.
Yep.
Even though he hit 3 home runs all of last year, he's about to tie that. I don't know, man. The obliques are annoying.
Yeah, these holes that come up, they have these injuries, nonstop, and yet someone comes up and he fills it, like Reese McGuire. He looked like Mark McGuire out there. I was like, holy crap!
This is not believe he hit 2 home runs against.
This is unbelievable. Yeah, I could not ever dream of that type of production from Reese McGuire, but it's just one of those special years, man. And Hank put it best: 13 games over is pretty impressive, especially considering that early tough. The same schedule that we played, the rest of the NL Central is going to have to go play.
Yeah.
And you said it in the off the air. Cardinals team is looking like a Fugazi. They got it, right?
I'm not buying Lars Nootbaar carrying the St. Louis Cardinals offense to a division title this year. That's just nonsense to me. Lars Nootbaar and Brendan Donovan and Alec Burleson. Come on. What are we talking about here? That's not they're just on a hot streak right now. They're going to fall off so hard, and I hope to God I don't eat these words because you just know, like there's always one team in the Central that just does some bullshit, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
I don't know. The Brewers don't look like that team this year. As much as I also pain to say that because it's still too early to say that they don't have it anymore, but they do look like they don't have it. Like they've had a rough year. And
they've definitely had a rough year for sure. I mean, today they got that walk-off grand slam from Christian Yelich, but it's very rare. And Yelich is looking like a terrible, terrible decision on their part, just overall. So it's going to be interesting. We've said it time and time again, and we're going to stick by it even this early. You got to win the division if you want to be in the playoffs. That is pretty much your only hope with the NL West being such a juggernaut of a division.
Yeah.
It's you win the division or bust. So they're going to need to keep on trucking. That's what we're going to do now. Moving on to this last game. we gotta finish this sweep. We gotta finish it out here. It's the Rockies. They're 9-46. We don't want to be the team that lets them get to double-digit wins.
Yeah.
Got Matthew Boyd on the mound tomorrow. Maybe a bounce back start from him. Going against Tanner Gordon. So, opportunity there for the Cubs to pile on with their offense. Hopefully the wind is blowing out, or at least not blowing in. But what do we need to see out of this Cubs team tomorrow, and especially out of Boyd, to get this series sweep?
Yeah, it's a get right game for Boyd after he struggled a little bit against the Reds over the weekend. He just needs to locate and just give the Cubs length tomorrow. We need another quality start out of him because, like we were saying, the Cubs used a lot of their bullpen arms in today's game and yesterday's game too, honestly. So these guys are probably gassed a little bit. They need some rest, and luckily they do have an off day on Thursday, so they just need to get there, right? They need Boyd to give them some length, give them a lot of innings, and we need the offense to come around a little bit. Luckily we have won these games, but we've only scored 7 runs against literally the worst pitching staff in baseball. That's a little disappointing. Luckily our pitching has been good this series, but I would like to see the Cubs offense pick up the pitching staff tomorrow and carry them to a win. That would be nice.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. A rare 0 for 5 0 for 5 from PCA today. He had some gnarly swings out there. I'm hoping, it was nice to see that passion from him, even as good as he's been doing. Slams his helmet down. He's upset. He always wants to be doing good, and that's what you want to see out of a guy like that. But I'm hoping for a big bounce back game tomorrow. Spoiler alert, that is going to be my dinger pick for tomorrow because I know he's going to have that fire in him to go ahead and rise up. And like you said, maybe put the team on his back to go ahead and carry this, carry them to a win because, as you said, the pitching, the bullpen, all very taxed within this series, surprisingly. And it would be awesome just if the offense could answer all or take away all those question marks for Craig tomorrow, where he doesn't need to get all fancy and piece together all these arms to try to get the win and scratch away. Take all that away, score a bunch of runs. It's the freaking fracking Rockies.
Yeah.
Go out there and just wipe them away. I mean, just like you, I'm also shocked at how much they've not just come out and blown out the Rockies.
They let German Marquez get a quality start today. That's ridiculous. I mean, come ridiculous. On now.
You're lucky. You are lucky that you did not lose that game and give him the win. So yeah, they got to just turn things around here. But thankful this wasn't a trap series. They did get the series win. They secured it tonight. We can breathe easy, take a deep exhale after first 2 games being a little bit shaky out there. So just like you said, I hope the offense can deliver tomorrow. If Reese McGuire's out there, I hope he looks like Mark McGuire again, just hitting bombs. And go get the series sweep out there.
Yeah, 4th straight win. We already got our 5th straight series win with tonight's walk-off, which you love to see. But it would be nice to sweep the White Sox and the Rockies within 2 weeks, the 2 of the worst teams in baseball. Literally the 2 worst teams in baseball. That's what the Cubs should be doing with this offense and this team. So, and we need to stack as many wins as possible right now because this is the softest part of the schedule. I would love to see them climb to 14 games above 500. We're talking about some 2016 shit right now. They haven't been this far above 500 this early since 2016. I mean,
big words.
I'm not saying that they're better than the 2016 team, but that is the type of energy that's going on, this type of success this early. That's your point too. A lot of it was against good teams. A lot of it was against the NL West teams. We are done facing the Dodgers and the Padres and the Diamondbacks for the year, and it's impressive what they've done, man. It's It's great to see. They have 4 hitters on pace for 30 plus home runs right now. That's
Ridiculous.
insane.
That is insane. Going from like no home run power last year to this
They
team.
haven't had one hitter reach 30 home runs since 2019 when Bryant and Kyle Schwarber did it.
Yep.
We're talking about an insane turnaround for this offense, and
Insane.
I put a lot of it on Kyle Tucker. I mean,
Yep.
and PCA taking a huge step forward. He's looking like a superstar. Seiya Suzuki, I think, is benefiting a lot from hitting right behind Kyle Tucker, and he's just focusing on hitting as the DH. Swanson is having an up year. It's just everything. There's a lot of stuff clicking right now. Production from the catcher spot. Man, it's been good. The pitching depth has held up. It can only do so for so long. For God's sake, Shota, get your oblique right and get back in their rotation. But,
Yep.
no, I like it. I like where things are right now.
Heck yeah. Yep. And same here, dude. I am just so thrilled. And I guess the only word that comes to mind with this team is special. They just feel special. And I was even seeing some graphics today comparing the 2016 team to this team. And, it's pretty crazy, the offensive numbers, when you really look at them from afar. Like how well they are doing. The turnaround, as you said, from PCA. I agree 100% that with Tucker in the lineup, they're seeing better pitches to hit. They have more protection. There's that guy in the lineup that can beat you. Even tonight, he was intentionally walked. Don't want him to beat you. He's the one that you circle in your lineup. But there's a few guys that you could circle in that lineup. And PCA is one of them. And it's just so great to see. But overall, just go finish the job tomorrow. Just finish the job. Get that sweep. Any final thoughts for the games we've gone over, the series so far at all?
Dude, they're just never out of it. It's great. Those 2 games against Cincinnati were insane with those comebacks. I mean, when you're down by 5 runs in like the 7th inning, like you're expecting to lose that game, and they roared back, man. They just spanked the Reds, and that was an awesome series too. So like so many fun moments like that for this team already this year, and we're only 2 months in, only a third of the way through. Got a long way to go. We got a lot of division games coming up next month, but man, we're doing good right now. Just keep it rolling, keep the magic rolling, get a sweep, get some more wins under your belt, get 14 games above 500. Keep padding that lead in the NL Central, and fuck the Cardinals. They're fake as fuck.
Heck yeah. Yep. The Fugazi Cardinals.
Crazy ass Cardinals, bro.
That's what we're going to call them from now on. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Keep the magic rolling. Keep the momentum going. 5 series wins in a row is a great thing. Continue to stack those up, even if you can't get the sweeps, but sweep the bad teams for sure. But overall, we're so happy here at Cubs On Team, and I'm actually very shocked. My season predictions were so far looking very bad, which I'm very happy about. Each year I've come in guns blazing, 90 wins. I'm looking like a fool. This year I was like, not this time. And they're making me look like a fool again. And this time I could not be happier about it.
Went more conservative this year. That's what did it actually. Nick's prediction for the wins is has injected magic into this Cubs team, and we have him to thank for it.
Yeah, exactly. They heard me and they were like, "We've lost Nick. We need to wake up. If we've lost Nick,
we gotta prove him
things
wrong.
Things need to change here." So, overall, that just a fun time, just a fun team to talk about. But Rich, tell us where we can go to learn more, get more content here at On Tap Sports.
Yeah, go follow us on X, Facebook, YouTube for all the latest on Cubs On Tap coverage, analysis, breaking news content, articles written by yours truly and Ron Luce and Bobby and others. Go follow us on all those socials. Keep up to date on all that stuff. And like and subscribe and share all of our content to whoever you know if you like it. And thanks for viewing and watching us. We very much appreciate it.
Heck yeah. We appreciate all of you, and we appreciate you all of you being with us tonight, talking this awesome walk-off win. Let's get out here the only way that we know how.
Yeah, fuck the Fugazi Cardinals. Go Cubs, go, and happy birthday to the GOAT, Pat Hughes.
Yeah, and fuck the Rockies too. Go
Yeah.
Cubs.